This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosick.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on The Fan. Hopefully the weather won't interrupt if you have golf plans, but if so, take them indoors to our friends over at the Fairway Columbus. Another busy week in the golf world. The PGA Tour is in New Orleans. Team format this week at the Zurich. We'll head there shortly and also talk about the first major on the women's side this week with Hall of Fame golf writer, now with Golf Channel, Ron Syrak. Former Buckeye Neil Shipley got his first professional win on the Korn Ferry Tour last week. Neil will join us later to tell us all about that experience as he joins us from this week's event in Arlington. As mentioned, the PGA Tour is in New Orleans this week. A big sponsor extension of that event was announced on Wednesday. We will hear from PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan about that. And as always, we have another great golf prize package to give away. Very important, no Twitter contest this week, so stay tuned. We'll have details on that giveaway coming up shortly. But we begin this week with former OSU All-American, led Ohio State to the national championship in 1979, longtime PGA professional, now an analyst with Golf Channel and NBC Sports. Our old friend John Cook working the Champions Tour telecast this week outside of Atlanta. And Cookie, a couple of weeks removed now from up the road there at Augusta. Just your thoughts on Rory McIlroy winning the Masters, especially with the exciting fashion and how things played out.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Skip. And, we love watching the Masters. Like you go into any room in our house and the TV is on and it's on something different having to do with the Masters. I mean, you never miss anything. So it's our, favorite watch of the year. We don't watch a whole lot of golf, but, we love the Masters. So it was exciting. Happy for Rory to, who doesn't like to see history made?
Right.
And do it in a way like that. I mean, it was such an emotional roller coaster, like all day, just up and down, and who's going to win and who's not. And oh my God, Rory's going to throw another one away. Oh no, he's not. He's coming back. So, then he hits the shot at 15 and you go, okay, well now he's going to win. Then all of a sudden he's not going to win. And it's like, just get it over with. All right. But it was a great watch, great fun. Happy for Rory. I'm not a huge fan, but I sure respect him and respect what he's done in this game. And winning 5 majors and the career Grand Slam. I mean, that's just great stuff. I mean, that's Hall of Fame, obviously, and to have him do it, how many years removed from his last major. To keep the pedal down and keep grinding for it. It was a goal for him. And we all have goals, and then there's guys with different lofty goals than we all have, and that was one for him. So happy to see his history being made, and the way he did it was goes down as one of the classics of all time.
John, you covered the PGA Tour champions a lot. It was amazing to see how Bernhard Langer played in his final Masters. I mean, so close to making the weekend. You see him a lot. How incredible is what we're seeing from Langer at age 67?
Well, we just thought that, at some point he's maybe going to lose the desire. He's going to lose the desire to work out, the desire to prepare the way that he does. But he hasn't, and he's a couple months older than I am. So 67 years old, and you still have this desire to become better at what you're doing. And he's a year removed from torn Achilles. He really saved himself all last year coming back from that, and riding in a cart, I think, really helped him save some energy and then, get to Augusta. It's not exactly a flat golf course.
No.
Walking up and down those hills for as many days as he did, and then to have that chance, he's hitting hybrids, into every hole. He's not reaching any of the par 5s and 2. The greens are incredibly quick, but it's just the marvel of Bernhard Langer. And to watch him walk around there, his final walk, and have a chance to make the cut, is just amazing to me. I'm sure he was just walking, hey, we'll play 36 and we'll get out of here. No, that's not his mentality. He has loftier goals than that. So to see him do that and play that well and be a great representative for the PGA Tour champions is amazing.
Former Buckeye John Cook, our guest this morning. Tee to Green here on The Fan. And John, on the other end of the age spectrum, you also work a lot of coverage for college golf. Western Collegiate was last week, more upcoming. We really enjoy watching the NCAAs, which will be here soon. What do you like the most about covering the college game?
I just love college so much. I'm such a huge Ohio State guy and still am to this day. And, I've watched every second of the spring game, and I can tell you everything that went on. And, I just loved college. I kind of wish I would go back to college. Maybe I'll go back and get a master's degree. I don't know. Who knows? But, I just love it. And today's players, I don't cover a whole lot of the women. I know some of the coaches and I follow, of course I follow Ohio State's women's golf team. They're really good this year, and follow some others. But in the men's game, the kids are really, really good, and they're so personable. They love seeing Golf Channel out there. They love seeing whoever out walking on the golf course or putting before the round, or talking to the coaches, and they're all so giving. We stay in the same hotels, and they are always coming up and being so appreciative of what we're doing and what we're talking about. And the coaches, anything you need, you just let me know. We'll talk about anything, anybody, why somebody's not here, why somebody is. They're just so giving of their time, and it kind of then reflects into our telecasts. Is we really enjoy covering these college kids and really appreciate what they're doing and what they go through on a weekly basis. In the fall, they play probably a bigger fall schedule than we ever did. And then in the springtime, they'll play, about half of their events, and then all of a sudden it's conference, all of a sudden it's regionals, and then it's on to the NCAAs. So it's fun to follow. It's fun to cover. And like I said, the coaches and the players are so giving and so appreciative.
Well, John, your team that won the Natty in '79 was just stacked. How much has changed, I guess, in the college game in the last 45 years or so?
I think what I see, Skip, mostly is coaching. And they really coach. Like, they're on the course and they're walking with the players, and they're coaching. They're doing everything but carrying the bag. And maybe I'm not a huge fan of that. Coach Jim Brown, he coached when he needed to coach. He didn't walk with every player and read putts and give him. He wanted to know how we were doing, and that was about it. And okay, keep her going, or you can make a couple birdies. We need a couple here, something like that. So what I've really seen more is coaches have really gotten involved in the players' games during the day, during the round. So other than that, it's the college kids they're 17 to 22-year-old kids, and they love the game, and they're working like crazy. And covering last week at Pasatiempo, just a great Alistair McKenzie course with a great restoration by Jim Urbina. It's incredible, and it's 6,500 yards, and it drove these kids absolutely out of their minds, because you have to play different types of golf. You have to play strategic golf, patient golf, disciplined golf, and that's what was so fun covering it, because you have to have these parts of the game. And these kids found out that, hey, I need to get a lot better at patience, or a lot better at discipline, a lot better at doing this, putting the ball behind the hole, or using slope, that type of stuff. So just to see the evolution of the game, and everybody hits it so far. Well, you know what? That was 6,500 yards. It was a handful of players under par. And so, what does that tell you? That you don't need these monster golf courses like we saw at Harbortown last week.
Right.
Barely 7,000 yards, and there weren't that many players, that far under par. So it was, it's just the evolution of the game.
John, we had a chance to chat with former Buckeye Neil Shipley following his win last weekend. We'll play that for everybody later this hour. I know you got to spend some time with him covering the NCAAs and the U.S. Amateur. He obviously was, low am at the Masters and U.S. Open last year, played at a number of PGA Tour events. Notoriety with the hair, featured on Full Swing, now his first pro win. What do you envision for that kid's future?
Yeah, he's an incredible young man. Spent quite a bit of time with him in the last couple of years, just chatting and talking. And I walked with him his final U.S. Amateur final against Nick Dunlap. There at Cherry Hills in Denver. And it was a hard cover, honestly, because somebody that you are kind of invested in is like me, doing the USAM last year with Noah Kent in the final, a kid that I've been helping, for a few years now. So, but Neil he's such a unique guy, such a unique kid. He's so smart. People have no idea. The kid's got 2 master's degrees in a matter of 5 years, and I mean it's just amazing what he intelligence-wise, and then you see it kind of get into his golf game and how he uses his intelligence to play golf, and he could do anything he wants. The Alumni Association there at Ohio State, they'd welcome him with open arms into anything he wanted to do, but he wants to pursue his dream of playing the PGA Tour, and now he is a couple months away from joining the PGA Tour with that win. Basically solidifies him a spot through the Korn Ferry. So just to see him, I talked to him a little bit after his win as well. He was so super excited because he knows what he's working for and working with, and he can't wait to take that next step. And I told him, hey, go get that number 1 spot. Then you're guaranteed playing in all these tournaments for a full year. So you don't stop now. Keep going. Keep that hammer down, just like you did in college.
All right, John, last thing. You mentioned Harbour Town. There was a secondary PGA Tour event last week in the Dominican Republic. You had to feel for Joel Dahmen. I mean, man, tough finish. 3 straight bogeys to lose it, including missing a 2-footer on 17. I mean, we've all missed kick-ins. What's the shortest putt you remember missing?
Well, I can remember one that basically cost me the Open Championship. Yeah. It was about a 2-footer, honestly. You kind of take it for granted, and for that whole week that I remember, I made everything, and I just took it for granted. This putt was just going to go in, and I was going to go to the next tee with a lead, and nope. You kind of get ahead of yourself, and watching Joel Dahmen have to go through that, it's excruciating, honestly, and you feel for the guy because, hey, we've all done that too, is kind of faltered down the stretch. I've birdied a bunch of holes coming down the stretch to win, and I have bogeyed a couple holes coming down the stretch to not win. And so that was, it's just excruciating. And he's been around a long time. He's a veteran. There's reasons why guys win tournaments, and there's reasons players don't win. They're super, super good. But sometimes there's reasons that players don't win enough events. And Joel will learn from this, and maybe he'll go back and he'll, kind of, hey, you have to go back and figure out what the heck went wrong so it doesn't happen again.
Ohio State national champion, OSU Hall of Famer, now with Golf Channel and NBC Sports, our old friend John Cook. Cookie, thanks as always for your time. We'll be watching for you on TV, okay?
I appreciate it. Anytime. Go Bucks.
Again, you can see John later today at 3 on Golf Channel for their telecast of the PGA Champions event outside of Atlanta. Let's switch gears now to this week's PGA Tour stop in New Orleans and check your leaderboards as we get you warmed up with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
TPC Louisiana, the side of this week's Zurich Classic team event. Kevin Velo and Isaiah Salinda are in the lead at 17 under par. Velo and Salinda followed up a course record 58 in best ball Thursday with a 69 in alternate shot on Friday.
Yeah, overall really solid. I think we played really to our strengths today. We both missed a couple short ones that kind of led to our bogeys, but besides that, we played pretty flawless. So, we feed off each other really easily, and I know how to club off him, and we're talking through shots out there, so we know exactly what we're trying to do, and both of our caddies are working together. It seems like a really good team.
We like both. I know, best ball obviously is where you can take it deep and take it low, but I think the way we play alternate shot is, I like our chances in alternate shot versus anyone in the field. So, I think tomorrow we just keep playing how we're playing, set ourselves up for Sunday, and give ourselves a shot. And I think, alternate shot is kind of our strength.
A shot back of Velo and Celinda are Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin with a 66 Friday in alternate shot. Novak and Griffin saying that 66 could have been even better.
There's a lot of good golf shots today. There was really only one hole out there I felt like we were in trouble at any point, really. Our short games kind of take care of a lot of missteps, but a lot of good putting and 7 birdies today. I mean, that's really strong for alternate shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both in solid form right now, feeding off each other. It's nice seeing good golf shots. Seeing him rolling putts helps me when I get to my turn to putt. So I think between the two, I mean, we probably could have been easily 3 or 4. He had one putt. We don't know how it missed, how it stayed on the back edge. And I missed a couple, those mid-range shorter putts that you kind of hope to make, but statistically are probably 50-50. So if I can get those to drop, going in the weekend, that would be nice.
Again, best ball again today in New Orleans. Alternate shot to finish up on Sunday. And as we've seen some incredibly low scores in the best ball on Thursday. So today could be wild as all are chasing. Again, your leaders, Kevin Velo and Isaiah Celinda at 17 under par. Elsewhere, a major on the ladies' side with the Chevron at the Woodlands in Texas. Yan Lu -7 leads by 1. DP World Tour in China. Bowen Zhao and Marco Pengji -12. They lead there by 1. Korn Ferry Tour is in Arlington, Texas. Weather an issue there. Still a lot of players, including former Buckeye Neil Shipley, finishing up their second round. Shipley will jump on with us later this hour. Zach James is your leader at 17 under par. James leads by 2. Shipley currently at -6, but still 10 holes to play in his second round. PGA champions outside of Atlanta, Jerry Kelly, 62 on Friday. He's at -10. He leads there by 3. PGA Tour Americas in Ecuador. Weather an issue there as well. Still trying to finish their first round. Jake Scott and Cameron Husser at -6. They lead by 1. Former Buckeye Maxwell Moldovan is at even par. College golf, men's Big Ten championships in Baltimore. Ohio State with some work to do. Buckeyes are at +2, sitting in 8th place, 12 shots back of Illinois, who leads by 7 with 2 rounds to play at Baltimore Country Club. Your leaderboards were brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at BMIFCU.org. Coming up, we will chat with legendary golf writer Ron Syrak, who's covered the women's game for many years. We'll get his thoughts on the year's first major for the ladies, as well as a mixed team event being added to the Olympics. Ron joins us next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com. Looking to up your golf game this summer? Swing into the Fairway, Columbus' premier indoor golf facility, featuring state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators, a spacious clubhouse vibe, and world-class service. It's the perfect place to play, train, or host your next event. Choose from over 350 courses worldwide, or fine-tune your swing with TrackMan's advanced range options, the same tech the pros use. Located in Upper Arlington, skip the long drive and grab a summer range pass today. The Fairway, golf elevated.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
Nashville's hottest band, Old Dominion, is coming to Great American Ballpark on July 10th as part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series. After the Reds take on the Marlins, all fans in attendance are invited to stay and enjoy a set from Old Dominion. Plus, you can upgrade your ticket to a Pit Field Pass for an up-close view of the show. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/concerts.
Rock Rothman and Ice.
Your front office has the ability to maneuver these numbers around. Cap space is a thing, but sometimes the way it looks on paper, it's not as concrete as it may seem.
Rothman and Ice, weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Bands are us when dreams sunk in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams sunk in. Bands are us.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Mix and match 5 or more items for just 99 cents each with your card. Choose Campbell's Soup, Kroger brand pasta, North Sides, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's the final days of Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale. This is your last chance to get an extra 20% off our already renowned prices. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off your purchase. But hurry, these savings end soon. And this weekend only, we're open Sunday to give you an extra day to shop our expanded selection of trending engagement ring settings, his and hers wedding bands, must-have fine jewelry, and more. Time is running out. 20% off, store-wide savings. Visit DiamondsDirect.com for details.
Hey, it's better than a free bowl of soup. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosick on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. We have another terrific golf prize package that somebody's going to pick up this morning. We have a golf to go play out at the Virtues, a gift card for you to check out the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. Pretty cool place for you to check out there. Balls from our friends at Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies we'll throw in there for you this week as well. No Twitter contest this week, so stay tuned. We'll have details on this week's giveaway shortly and your chance to make this great prize package yours.
This is Backspin. Tee to Green. Backspin.
Joined for a few minutes now by a Hall of Fame golf writer, now a contributor for Golf Channel, Ron Sirak. And Ron, so much to try to squeeze in. Let's begin with your thoughts on the Masters. You were down there a couple of weeks ago, and, Rory finally getting that 10-year-plus gorilla off of his back in regards to major championships, taking the Masters after nearly giving away, which we've seen him do before.
Yeah, that was my 34th Masters that I'd been to, and it was one of the most entertaining. I've seen better golf, but what I'm really encouraged about with McIlroy now is these last 2 tournaments he's won, the Players' Championship and the Masters. He didn't have his best stuff. He made a lot of mistakes. And I've always felt that with his A game, McIlroy's the best player in the world, but he never really figured out how to win with his B game. It looks like maybe he's starting to learn how to struggle better. I'm thinking the next 5 years of Rory's career might be as good as the first 5 years of his career. And by the time he was 25 years old, he had won 9 PGA Tour events and 4 majors. And now he's got 29 PGA Tour wins, 5 majors. I could see him getting to 40 PGA Tour wins and maybe getting to 6, 7, 8 major championships. I think there's going to be more majors ahead for Rory.
Yeah, I was going to go there next, Ron. I mean, with this weight removed, the next one is the PGA Championship at a place where he's had great success at Quail Hollow.
I was there in 2010 when he won his first PGA Tour event. He was 20 years old. Shot 62 on Sunday, finished with 6 consecutive threes, and he blew me away that day. And then the next year in 2011, he won the U.S. Open at Congressional by 8 strokes, and that was the way he was winning majors back then. He was blowing away the field. As I said, with his best game, he was better than anybody else. But now it looks like he's gone to another level, and he's figured out how to win when he's not necessarily hitting on all cylinders.
We're chatting with Ron Cyrak this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. Let's switch to the ladies' side, Ron. First major of the season for the women with the Chevron. Last year at this time, Nelly Korda was in the midst of an incredible run. So far this season, no multiple winners on the LPGA Tour as of yet. Is parity or maybe one or two dominant players better for the game, in your opinion?
I think one or two dominant players is better. I think that brings in the casual fan, I think that's true with all the individual sports, golf, tennis, boxing. You want to have that king or queen of the hill that everybody's trying to knock off. When Tiger was Tiger, it was bringing in people who weren't really golf fans to watch the game. And I think the same would be true if we had a Nelly rivalry up there with somebody else, then that could be like a Lydia Ko. That would bring in those casual fans and help grow the game.
Ron, you've covered the women's game for a long time. We've talked about this before, and I get the reason why, but do you kind of miss the old dinosaur?
Yeah, I do. I missed going to that venue. Quite frankly, it had lost some of the buzz in recent years when the sponsorship changed and it became ANA, the Japanese Airlines. It didn't have the same buzz there that it did back when it was the Kraft Nabisco, and it was a big spring break party scene out there, and that edge sort of went away. It's always sad to lose a venue that you've had for 50 years because of all the history there. But I think the fact that they signed on with a multinational corporation, Chevron, and signed a 6-year deal with them was that's a positive for the LPGA. Sad to lose the venue, but I think the event is probably going to get better.
Ron, a little bit of Olympic news this past week in regards to adding a mixed gender event to Olympic golf. I mean, is there anything to not like about this? I mean, I think it sounds great.
Yeah, I remember when they were trying to get golf back into the Olympics, it was sort of, it came back in 2016, so it was around 2006, 2008. They were in there battling away, trying to get it. And the opposition to golf in the Olympics is, it's not a global enough game. Not enough countries play it. Well, golf's turned out to be not only a global game, it's turned out to be a huge success, and such a success that they've added a second event here now. It's going to be a mixed gender event. Each country can have one team in there, so it's one man and one woman. The two players have to be people who've qualified for the individual event also. There'll be 18 holes of alternate shot, 18 holes of best ball. And I just think it's a way in which we're seeing sports grow in general. Golf is one of 6 events that's adding a mixed gender event for the 2028 Olympics. And I think that's a huge plus. Everything about this is a win.
Maybe kind of a sign that the women's game continues to grow. I mean, rumblings just a couple of days ago as far as the TGL, which is kind of a cool thing, maybe adding a women's league to the mix now.
Yeah, let's call it the Caitlin Clark effect. All of a sudden, women's sports is on a front burner. And I think it's even more than that. There's some guys I play with in my men's league who would not watch women's golf on a bet. But that's an older generation. What we see in the younger generation, I see it with my grandkids. Their dad takes my daughter to soccer practice. So he's watching her play soccer. He's rooting for her to play soccer. All of a sudden, it's become legitimized for men to root for women's sports. For a long time they wouldn't. But now, and also the quality of the athletes in the women's game and all the women's games have gotten better. When I first started following women's college basketball, there was about 2 or 3 or 4 really good teams in the country. Now it's way deeper than that. So the quality of the athletes gotten better. I think it's a Title IX effect. I think that there are girls being raised by moms who played college sports. They're being encouraged and getting more encouragement at home than they did back when I was a kid. And all of that now, here's the challenge for the LPGA right now. How do you cash in on that financially? how do they come in and get a piece of the pie? And they're looking for a new commissioner right now. And what they really need to do is find a commissioner who can sell that tour, get out there and strike while the iron's hot to get some corporate dollars.
All right, Ron, last thing. We know you're an old Pennsylvania guy. I know it's always special when the U.S. Open is at Oakmont. We've always heard that, Oakmont might be the toughest of all the U.S. Open venues. You've been there a number of times. What makes Oakmont so difficult?
Well, the greens. Those members are nuts. They like putting at 14 and a half stimps out there. I remember when Mike Davis was setting up U.S. Open venues for the USGA, he once told me we could give Oakmont 1 week's notice and have a U.S. Open. Wow. That's how hard that golf course is year in and year out. The other great thing about this, the USGA announced this week, the USGA, Oakmont Country Club, and the Western Pennsylvania Golf Association are pouring money and other resources into 3 municipal golf courses in the Pittsburgh area, courses that have like $20 green fees. Wow! And Mike Wan, who's the new CEO of the USGA, one couple of years now, really is seeing that the golf is growing right now. There's a COVID effect going on. There's a spike up in play, and he wants to keep that going. And I think he knows that public golf is one of the ways to really try to grow the game, have affordable venues out there. And USGA and Oakmont are working with the Western Penn Golf Association to try to do that.
Hall of Fame golf writer Ron Sirak. Ron, we always appreciate your insight. We'll be watching for you on Golf Channel, okay?
Talk to you down the road, my friend. Always a pleasure.
All right, let's go ahead now and give away our weekly golf prize package. Again, right now, caller number 9 at 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. Caller 9 will get you golf out at the Virtues, a gift certificate to go check out the Fairway Columbus. Awesome indoor simulator golf. We have balls from Titleist, more fan goodies to throw in there for you this week as well. Caller number 9 right now will be our winner. Coming up, we'll chat with former Buckeye Neil Shipley, who won his first professional events on the Korn Ferry Tour last weekend. Ship playing again this week down in Arlington and will join us next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
You pay what we pay with employee pricing at Coughlin Ford. Take over $5,500 off MSRP on a new 24 Ford Escape. Employee price $28,000. Or take over $7,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s and 24 F-250s. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you. All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. Must finance through Ford Motor Credit. Not all will qualify. No security deposit required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N43025.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. At Giant Eagle, we combine exceptional customer service and quality foods, all at great value to make the most of your shopping trip. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
Common Man and Timmy are hosting afternoons together. Best friends, lots of jokes none of us understand. Not safe for work Instagram models. God help us.
Help! Help! What should we do?
Weekdays at 3, starting May 12th.
The Fan.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought.
Because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know how annoyed people get when they worry about their sump pump? Ah, the sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
They try whacking it to see if it'll start. A technique known as the sump pump thump, I believe. Or they feel around to see if something inside is clogged. That would be a sump pump clump.
Get Eco.
But the last thing they want is to be caught in a rainstorm or a snowmelt with a flooded basement because the stupid thing didn't work. No one wants to be a sump pump chump, Aaron. That's why we have the $89 sump pump inspection. We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear. All that for just one small sump pump lump sum. Absolutely. Shouldn't you be out inventing things? I'm in a bit of a slump.
Get Eco. Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here. We're looking ahead to some sunshine here for your Saturday afternoon. Highs a bit cooler into the lower 60s. And then for tonight, we're looking ahead to mostly clear skies and rather cool temperatures into the upper 30s and lower 40s. And then by Sunday, we're back to the sunshine, highs into the upper 60s, if not near 70. And then well into the 70s by Monday, 80s for Tuesday, but we're tracking a round of showers and thunderstorms here by Tuesday afternoon. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Yeah, sure. You're a 20 handicap when there's money on the line. A sandbagger's paradise. You're listening to Tee to Green with Skip Mossick on The Fan.
Welcome back, everybody. Congratulations to Troy from Grove City. Troy was caller number 9. He picks up the golf out at the Virtues, a gift card to the Fairway Columbus, balls from our friends at Titleist. More fan goodies for you as well. So congratulations, Troy. Thank you and everybody for listening this week. We'll have another prize package for you coming up next week. Right now, let's hit the range.
You are listening to Tee to Green's On the Range.
On the Range is presented by the Fairway Columbus. Go check them out on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington or visit them at thefairwaycolumbus.com. Joined on the Range by former Buckeye Neil Shipley, coming off his first professional win on the Korn Ferry Tour last week, playing again this week down in Arlington. And Neil, thanks for hopping on. Obviously, big time congrats on last week. Let's start with your closing 64 to get yourself into a playoff that you won. What all was going well for you last weekend to put yourself into that position?
Yeah, well, we got to a good start. The first 4 holes are really tough out there. Really, the first 3 are really difficult, and we made 3 pars in a row. And I kind of feel like on that golf course, if you can start off even par, then you're off to the races once you hit number 4 and 5. And we really took advantage of those opportunities with making a bunch of putts and hitting a lot of good quality shots in there. And yeah, just had a lot of things, a lot of putts drop for us. It was a good day at the flat stick, and I had everything going. I mean, you when you shoot 64, you got to be doing a couple things well, and I definitely was. Well, great playing, Neil. It was your second 64 of the week. I saw you even had a couple of bogeys on your back 9. I mean, could that closing 64 have been even better? Yeah, for sure. We got. I think it was just a tough day. We had lots of wind out there, and it's hard to be perfect. Roy McIlroy made a couple double bogeys in his Masters win, so you don't have to play perfect golf to win. So had to try and keep that in mind.
Neil, you won it on the 5th playoff hole. You had to play 18 over and over again. I know it's the same for both of you guys, but is it odd to keep playing the same hole with so much on the line, or would you prefer to get a couple more in rotation, or does it matter?
Yeah, it's definitely odd to play the same one over and over again. Obviously they wanted to keep it on 18 because all the grandstands are there and all the fans are there, and that's how I would want it to. I would want the fans around to see us win or see one of us win. And it was a little weird though. I think we learned a little bit each time we played the hole though, because we kind of, it was a tough pin location to get to, and we all started to figure out like where we're trying to hit it so we can give ourselves the best looks possible. And there's a little backboard off the fringe too, and we started hitting in the same spots, it seems like, over and over again.
Well, Neil, I know you've won golf tournaments before, but how does winning at the professional level now feel any differently? And I guess let everybody know what all changes for you now besides getting a big check.
Honestly, it provides a lot of relief, especially on the Korn Ferry level. I'm no longer subject to the reshuffles. I'm fully exempt for the rest of this year, and I believe the next year as well. So that's awesome. To have a job, for the next 2 years. That secured myself a job for the next 2 years, which is nice because it seems like in the professional golf world, you're always trying to earn it, and you always have to prove yourself. And the only thing that kind of helps you maybe gives you some leeway is winning. So winning takes care of a lot, and it feels great to have a lot of that taken care of.
I was going to ask you about that next, Neil. With your status change because of the win, does that allow any more flexibility, or does that change your schedule at all?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still planning on playing almost all of the Korn Ferry events this year. But I think having a win, it gives us the flexibility to maybe take a week off, during the summer when it's a long stretch of golf, or we might be looking into things like that if I need a week off or I need time to reset. Which is nice because I get that flexibility, and not everyone will have that. A lot of guys will have to play every event that they can get into.
Neil, you're the second rookie to win on the Korn Ferry Tour this year, 6th first-time winner this season. Let everybody know the level of play that you see week in and week out. The dudes you're going up against are all really good and all gunning for the same thing.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience on the PGA Tour now, playing 8 PGA Tour events last year and then the Valspar Championship this year as well. So 9 PGA Tour starts, 2 majors, and I can tell you there's a bunch of guys out here on the Korn Ferry Tour that are just as good as those guys out there on the PGA Tour. And, I know they're only going to give out 20 cards this year, but there's definitely more than 20 players that are of PGA Tour quality out here on the Korn Ferry Tour. It's pretty stacked, and there's a lot of great competition, and any week, anyone can win. It's everyone's just that good.
Well, Ship, everyone nationally kind of got to know you last year at the Masters where you were low am. I have to ask your thoughts when you heard about Jose Luis Ballester, who was there as an am as well this year, but now is known for breaking as far as what Augusta National references as a critical etiquette issue on the 13th hole. You were just there last year. Do you think he just lost his mind and forgot where he was?
Honestly, like I could see how you might not, as a rookie, you don't know where the bathrooms are. Like they're pretty, Augusta National does a really good job of hiding them away, and honestly, I feel bad for the kid. It's a tough look, but I know Jose a little bit. I know he's a great player, and I'm sure he can bounce back from that.
Neil, last thing, we know you're a Pittsburgh kid. U.S. Open's at Oakmont this year. Any more of an added drive for you to qualify? And I guess, how do you determine the strategy of where to try to qualify?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be qualifying out at Springfield, Ohio, so not far from Columbus. I've played the golf course a little bit, and I decided to choose that place because I think it suits my game well, and I know it's going to be in great shape. It's a good golf course, and there's always good players coming out of there. It seems like it always gets the best guys, and definitely some added motivation. I grew up caddying there a little bit, in high school, and I've just loved the golf course. I went to the 07 Open, the 16 Open, and there's just, I think Oakmont and my story on golf are really tied together.
Former Buckeye Neil Shipley, again, congratulations on your first win a week ago. You keep playing well. We're pulling for you, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on.
Again, Shipley playing this week down in Arlington. Weather has really put things behind down there. Shipley currently -6 through 9 of his second round. Cutline currently at -7, so hopefully a good back nine for Shipley as he competes down in Arlington this morning. On the Range is brought to you by the Fairway Columbus. Lots of cool things coming up in May at the Fairway on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. We'll tell you about some of those next week. You want to tune in for that. Check them out at thefairwaycolumbus.com. Coming up, a big extended sponsorship announcement down in New Orleans this week for the Zurich Classic. We'll hear from PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan about it next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
Day 1, the hardest day. The day you hear,
"This is a type of blood cancer."
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Hello, radio listeners. The Fan is debuting a new lineup on May 12th. T-Bone and Tyvis hitting leadoff at 6. Bishop and Friends stays at 9. That's not new. Rothman and Ice at noon. You already knew that. Common Man and Timmy at 3. That's slightly different. Even more inappropriate, if that's possible. And Beamer is the new host of The Buckeye Show. You're welcome. Or we're sorry. Pick one. Get all the details at 971thefan.com.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh, yeah. Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Now eligible for the senior tees. You're listening to Tee to Green with Skip Mossick. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. If you missed any part of today's show, such as our visits with former Buckeyes John Cook and Neil Shipley, be sure to download the Tee to Green podcast. Just search Tee to Green wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to hit the subscribe button. Once again, the PGA Tour is in New Orleans this week. Team event that has really caught on so much that Zurich announced an extension to continue their sponsorship of the Zurich Classic. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan met with the press to talk about the extension and what this event means to the PGA Tour.
We're really proud to be in New Orleans. We PGA Tour golf back to 1938, which is pretty extraordinary, bringing the brightest and best stars in the game to New Orleans each and every year has been a real honor for us, and we feel like we're a huge part of this community, a great community, and we're embraced, and our players are so grateful for that embrace that they receive every single year, and the great crowds that support them and cheer them on. And the event continues to innovate, it continues to adapt, it continues to evolve. I think this team format has just been tremendous. The only team event on the PGA Tour FedEx Cup schedule, and we had a dramatic moment last year. We've had a lot of dramatic moments. Rory and Shane coming back here and defending is pretty extraordinary. And we'll all remember not only their on-course performance last year, but also their off-course performance, which has become something of legend. But that's the spirit of New Orleans, and that's the spirit of this event. And this is an event as a team event that provides an opportunity that you just don't get week to week on the PGA Tour. And when players set their schedule at the beginning of the year, knowing that they can come and play in the Zurich Classic, and the work that's done to get in position to have your partner commit to you and you commit to your partner is probably one of the better underlying stories that happens each year. And players show up here knowing that this is one, they're playing against a great field. The list of champions that have won here and have won on the team side of it, and to be able to play in a different format for that 1 week, and to do so in a highly competitive but a fun atmosphere, I think has just differentiated this event on the PGA Tour. I think it's perfectly positioned on the calendar, and I think on top of all of it, what we're talking about here today, and knowing that you've got a great committed global company behind this event, the way that Zurich is and the way that everybody is treated, and all the players are treated, and they just make this for a really special week. And so therefore it's an extremely important event on the PGA Tour. This is the hardest tour in the world to get on. It's the hardest tour in the world to stay on. It's the hardest tour in the world to compete on. It's the hardest tour in the world to win on. And that competitive platform, that enduring competitive platform, 56 years in operation, continues to attract fans from around the world. And to have 40% of our partners committed to the PGA Tour for 15-plus years, I think is an extraordinary statement about the state of the PGA Tour.
That is PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan, again, from New Orleans. Big extension, big news for them down this week in New Orleans. That team event has really caught on. That'll put a wrap on this week's edition of Tee to Green. Fan Sports Saturday is coming your way next. Lots of NFL talk, I'm sure. Reds baseball at Colorado comes your way after that on the Fan. More draft coverage following Buckeye baseball on 1460 ESPN Columbus. Our thanks to all of our guests this morning. Former Buckeyes John Cook and Neil Shipley, plus Hall of Fame golf writer Ron Syrak. For Cole Bartimas, great job, Cole. Thanks for coming in early today. I'm Skip Mossick. Enjoy the golf this weekend. We will talk to you again next Saturday morning for another edition of Tee to Green right here on The Fan.
You know I'll be in church next Sunday to save me from those double bogey blues.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
It's opening day, Cincinnati, this April 26th. Wait, what's that you say? We already played the opener? April 26th, kind of late for opening day. Well, you're right on all accounts, except for back in 1995, when the Reds actually opened the season this April 26th. And the reason for the late start? The strike that shortened the 1994 season wasn't settled until April 2nd, 1995. The players needed a couple of weeks of spring training to get in shape, and so baseball delayed the openers. And it wasn't until this April 26th that the Reds played opening day, losing to the Cubs 7-1. This date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, save big on 2-pound packages of fresh, delicious strawberries. They're only $3.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Picture this. You walk into a Tim Hortons and get a warm toasted English muffin or a buttery biscuit layered with fluffy fresh cracked eggs, melty cheese, and savory sausage or bacon. Now imagine that breakfast sandwich for just $3 when you buy any size coffee, hot or cold. Because when you're running on empty, you want a breakfast that does more than just fills you up. So start your morning with Tim's, because you deserve a breakfast that's as good as your day is going to be. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Offer valid only during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Additional terms apply.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
When an orthopedic injury or condition gets in the way of life, there is nothing more important than finding a physician you can trust. At Orthopedic One, you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts, ready to listen to your concerns and work with you toward the best possible outcome. In fact, more people trust Orthopedic One than any other practice in Central Ohio. Start with the specialists. Start with orthopedic1.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Broadcasting from